Today on SoKY Sunrise.
We'll work up a sweat in a brand new edition of Workout Wednesday.
Plus, we'll give you the details on a motorcycle ride benefiting Toys for Tots.
Then, we'll feature one local veteran story in an all-new Voices of Honor.
SoKY Sunrise starts right now.
Live from the German-American Bank studio in downtown Bowling Green, this is SoKY Sunrise on WNKY NBC 40.
Good morning, SoKY Sunrisers. Today is Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. I'm your host, Tej Joshi.
And I'm Lexi Schweiner. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning.
Well, there are a ton of really bad opening first pitches to MLB games out there, and this morning I think we've got a new one to add to the list. Conor McGregor was throwing the first pitch of the Chicago Cubs game last night. Take a look at this. He's winding up, and Lexi, watch the ball, see where it goes.
Oh my gosh, I feel like he didn't even try.
You know, it's one thing when, celebrities who are not athletes throw bad first pitches, but it's Conor McGregor.
He's very, very athletic. You would think he'd at least, get in the general vicinity of the catcher.
He went into the stand. I think part of the problem was he's wearing this jacket. It's a nice jacket, but that cannot be good for arm movement.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Oh my gosh, if you watch, he can barely lift his arms up.
Oh man, McGregor. All right.
I think we could have done better, but
I don't know. Maybe, I like to think so. All right, let's check in with Darius. Darius, what do you think of that first pitch? Think you could have done better?
I probably could have done better. That reminded me of something I would see on the Wii.
Just like a Wii baseball?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's get a look at that forecast this morning. The rain is finally starting to move away, right?
Well, this morning we're still tracking the heavy rain, but we should see the bulk of the moisture clear out as we head later into this afternoon and evening. That's when the rain becomes more spotty in coverage. But the view from the Smiths Grove Tower cam, you can see on the lens, we actually have those rain drops being picked up on the camera lens this hour. Temperatures into the low 60s this morning, and those winds are flowing in from the north and west, generally within the 5 to even 10-mile-an-hour range. There's the rain as it continues to track its way off towards the north and east, continues to drift towards the north and east, and we'll hold on to those rain chances through the morning hours. Rio likes to look out at the rain, and Rio says grab the rain boots before you step outside today. Tej and Lexi.
Thank you so much, Darius. And a local nonprofit based in Bowling Green is once again helping out teens come Christmas time. Teen Angel helps out families every year to shop for Christmas presents for teenagers who might otherwise not get any. From now through November 12th, parents can apply for their teenagers online. Applicants start at age 13, ranging to anyone enrolled in a Bowling Green City school or a Warren County public school.
And you can check the Teen Angel website to read the requirements for registration and make sure they submit all the correct clothes sizes there when applying. Last year, Bowling Green residents registered over 200 teenagers for the program. Teen Angel also needs volunteers to buy and donate in order to make these teens' Christmas dreams come true. If you're looking to help out or register, you can go to WNKY.com to find the link to their website.
All right, now let's send things over to Joshua at the wall for a look at our News Express. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Tej and Lexi. First up on our News Express, the House of Representatives passed legislation to prevent a government shutdown at the end of this month. The measure was passed by a party line vote of 220 to 211. The approved package would provide stopgap money, extending funding and keeping the government open through December 3rd. Additionally, the measure includes a debt limit suspension through December 16th of 2022. The vote also means that disaster and refugee aid will be provided. The bill now goes to the Senate, where it could face an uphill battle due to GOP opposition. Switching gears now, former President Donald Trump is suing his niece and the New York Times, claiming they conspired to obtain his tax returns. Mr. Trump filed the $100 million lawsuit in New York yesterday. It accuses Mary Trump of breaching a settlement agreement by disclosing tax records that she received in a dispute over family patriarch Fred Trump's estate. Those records were revealed to 3 reporters with the Times and later published in a 2018 story about Trump's wealth and tax practices. In a statement, the Times says it plans to challenge the lawsuit. And rounding out your News Express this morning, Day 2 of the United Nations General Assembly and the focus turns to COVID-19. President Biden is set to host a virtual summit with world leaders to discuss ways to end the pandemic. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
The United States remains committed.
As the United Nations General Assembly continues, President Biden is putting the focus on COVID-19 and calling for world cooperation to defeat it.
We need a collective act of science and political will. We need to act now to get shots in arms as fast as possible.
The president convenes a virtual COVID summit today to secure a commitment from world leaders to help beat the pandemic. The White House poised to announce the purchase of another 500 million Pfizer vaccine doses to donate to poorer nations, with the president calling for a goal to vaccinate 70% of the world's people by next September. It comes amidst sharp criticism that wealthy countries aren't doing enough, offering booster shots for some of their own people, while people in other parts of the world can't get a first shot.
A surplus in some countries, empty shelves in others. A majority of the wealthier world vaccinated, over 90% of Africans still waiting for the first dose.
The U.S. has already donated 500 million shots to vaccinate people in poorer nations, more than any other country. But that's just a small fraction of what's needed.
He doesn't seem to have his arms around, and in fairness, neither do any of the other G7 leaders seem to have their arms around the magnitude of this.
So far, about 6 billion doses have been given worldwide, but the World Health Organization estimates it will take 11 billion doses to vaccinate 70% of the world's population. About 55% of the U.S. population is vaccinated for COVID-19. In some countries like Haiti and Tanzania, that number is under 1%. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Thank you, Chris. And that's it for me this morning. Coming up later today on SoKY at noon, we'll have more info on where the aluminum cans you use come from. Chances are they came from South Central Kentucky. This and more over on CBS News 40. For now, we'll send it back to Tej and Lexi at the desk.
Thank you so much, Josh. And coming up after the break, the UN had some special guest speakers at their latest assembly. We'll have that story and much more in our look at what's trending.
But before we go, let's take a live look outside. We got a wet start to the morning, but how long is the rain going to stick around? Darius Mack will have the answer in his full weather forecast.
It's about 10 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to your Feel Good Wake Up show. This is a view from your Smiths Grove Tower cam. In the background, you can see it's kind of distorted looking. That's because we have those water droplets being picked up on the camera lens as we are tracking showers around the area this morning. And temperature-wise, we're at 61 degrees at the Bowling Green Regional Airport with a wind from the north and west at about 5 miles an hour. Temperature-wise across the area, those thermometers into the upper 50s to lower 60s. There's the wind speeds across the area right now, generally within the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. And as far as precipitation totals go, within the past 24 hours, we've received nearly a ½ inch of rain so far, and then some totals exceeding that, and we're going to be adding more to the rain bucket as we go through the latter part of this morning and possibly into the early afternoon hours, but I think the coverage becomes more spotty by then. Here's radar. You can see those showers drifting off towards the north and east, getting in with some heavier showers. We're seeing rates at least an inch an hour into portions of Logan County and even into portions of Butler County. Still seeing more showers off towards the east, moving from Barron County into portions of Metcalfe County this morning. Now, the big picture, there's that area of low pressure. We got that wraparound moisture around that area of low pressure, so that's why we're holding on to those rain chances for this morning and pretty much for the first half of the day. There's that cold front now made its way off towards the east, so we're on tap for cooler temperatures as well. So holding on to those rain chances, they become more spotty as we head later into this afternoon. Most of the moisture will stay well off towards our north and east, I think, as we head later through the day today. But temperature-wise, thermometers may struggle to make it out of the 60s for most areas. Still holding on to cloud cover. And then as we head in for the overnight hours, those temperatures dropping down into the 40s. So it's going to be quite chilly starting for your Thursday morning, but we're going to be drying out and we're going to be clear for your Thursday afternoon with temperatures ranging somewhere between the upper 60s to lower 70s by your Thursday afternoon and evening. And we're going to be pretty nice and dry as we head throughout the second half of your work week. Now, as far as your muggy tracker goes, It's looking pretty nice and comfortable. Look at this, a dew point value of 48 degrees. Pretty comfortable there. And then we're actually going to steadily see the humidity creep back up, though, as we head into the early part of next week, but nothing quite oppressive or muggy. So that's the good news about that. Your 7-day forecast, we're into the 70s, mostly sunny skies, partly cloudy skies by your Saturday, but it looks like we are going to be dry for pretty much most of the forecast period, with lows ranging in the 40s and 50s. Tage and Lexi.
Thank you so much, Darius. And now it's time for a look at what's trending, starting with an unusual story from the United Nations.
That's right. K-pop sensation BTS rocked their way through the UN General Assembly. Take a look. About 1 million people tuned in to an internet feed to watch K-pop sensation BTS speak at the General Assembly Hall. The 7-member group showed a pre-recorded video where they danced through the building while singing their hit, Permission to Dance. They also gave a short speech delivering a message of hope and encouraging young people to get vaccinated. South Korea has appointed BTS as a special envoy for future generations and culture.
And some sad news this morning. A beloved actor best known for his role on Sex and the City has died. Willie Garson started his career with guest roles on shows like Cheers and Family Ties. He later went on to play Stanford Blatch, a friend of Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. An HBO spokesperson confirmed his passing and honored his contributions to the iconic show. Garson is also known for his role as Mozzie on White Collar. Garson was a proud father to his adopted son, Nathan, who posted on Instagram saying, quote, "I love you so much, Papa. I'm so glad you got to share all your adventures with me. I am so proud of you." Garson was also an advocate for organizations that help children find homes.
Well, that does it for your first look at what's trending, but don't worry, we'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. It's time for this week's edition of Workout Wednesday.
This week, we were joined by an awesome trainer from Total Fitness Connection, and he really put us through the ringer. Take a look at this.
For today's Workout Wednesday, we've got a superstar here in the studio. It is Danny DeWalt from Total Fitness Connection here in Bowling Green. Danny, great to have you in here. You got all kinds of props that I know are going to make us sweat.
Absolutely.
First off, tell us a little bit about you. What do you teach at Total Fitness Connection?
I train a strength and conditioning class. It's basically built for people that want to get away from the gym while still getting a good workout and get a little sweat.
Whew, you said a little bit of a sweat. I am feeling nervous that I'm going to do a lot of sweating. How about you, Lexi?
I know. I'm excited. What are some of the benefits we can expect from this workout?
It's beneficial for all ages. For anyone that's doing conditioning for athletics or just trying to stay in shape for their day-to-day lives, for their kids or just every day.
For anybody who's trying to stay in shape. All right, well, let's get started then. What are these series of workout moves you're going to put us through?
All right, I'm going to put you through 2 lower body movements, an upper body movement, and 1 ab movement. So the first 2 movements we're going to be doing is going to be what I like to call a drop squat. So we're going to pick up our weights here, and you'll drop them, and then jump up to your box, okay? Our second movement.
One more time, because you're doing a lot of movement there.
Yeah, so you're going to drop down, pick up your weights, drop them back, and give me a small jump to your box. All right?
I was a little too
God.
far.
Yeah, a little bit too far.
I need to get a little
That's
bit
all
closer.
right. Yeah, just get you a little jump, down, and get you a small jump. All right? So we'll usually look, a little balance there.
This is why I can't serve. I've tried.
That's pretty
and I can't
good.
serve.
So typically, our second movement we'll do, I like to superset every movement we do.
Okay.
So the second movement we would do is just holding our dumbbells up, going to a front lunge, just a little bit of a deficit so we get a good stretch for the hamstrings there and the glute. We'll step off, switch feet, and after about 30 seconds, we'll drop the weights and then go into another lunge and then step up.
Woo!
Get a little
That
sweat,
burns.
right? Yeah, it's good. Make sure you're getting nice and deep there. Get a good stretch.
It burns too much. I can't
And
even
step
talk.
up.
When Tage is speechless, that's when you know.
Don't trip on your weights there.
All right.
All right, so those are the upper body ones.
No,
or
those are your
lower body
yeah,
ones. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
So for our upper body movements, again, sticking with the superset concept, we'll have our dumbbells here, and we do it bent over row. But I like to do mine a little bit differently. So we'll bend over, and we'll go 1 arm at a time, kind of like you're starting your lawnmower there.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do about 30 seconds there, and then we'll immediately switch into an upright row, making sure you're keeping it just slightly in front of you, getting a good squeeze at the shoulders, and then coming back down. After that, we'll go back into our bent over rows for another 30 seconds and repeat the process, get a small break.
And where are we working right here? Is this like the shoulders or the traps?
You get your trapezius as well as your shoulders.
Okay.
It's a good little burn.
I'm feeling it a little bit already. Lexi seems to be enjoying it.
That gives you your conditioning.
like it.
Yeah, it's a good one. So it builds up the strength as well as your conditioning because you're constantly moving, getting a good sweat. So for our last movement, it's going to be an ab movement, and I like to do mine a little bit differently. There you go.
Thank you. So we're getting on the mats for this, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's first here?
All right, it'll be a knee tuck. So traditionally when you do a knee tuck, you're here and you're switching back and forth. But me, I like to keep our feet flat, and we'll do one at a time. So you're here and bring it to you and down. Just getting a small reset for the abs each time.
And of course, this is working the abs, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So a second
want a
ab movement we
six-pack.
can do. Yeah, you'll get there. No time. Give me a good 2 months. Make sure your diet's good, and you'll get it.
You already got one, Danny?
The what?
You already got a six-pack?
I might. I might have one. I've taken the class for a while.
All right, so if anybody at home, I don't know for what reason, but if anybody at home wanted to do these same kind of workouts with you that we just did, how do they do that? How can they sign up?
You can come to Total Fitness. We offer classes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
And we've got a special announcement. People can get a free class if they just say our name.
WNKY.
Yeah,
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Absolutely.
Sounds good to
Hope
me.
to see you guys.
Well, it was great to have you in studio. Thank you
you
for
guys
this
for having
great
me.
workout Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you guys noticed this at home, but I think both of us almost fell during that segment.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you almost fell forward. I stepped on a weight and almost fell backwards. But one of these days, we're going to go crashing through the set.
For me, it's I can't hold balance on anything. All right, everyone, stick around. Coming up after the break, we are trying some country cooking in an all-new edition of Let's Make a Meal.
But first, let's party. Here's today's SoKY's Birthday Club.
For this week's Let's Make a Meal, we traveled out to Fountain Run and visited Nanny Joe's. It's a great spot for some country-style home cooking. From tasty burgers to an array of mouth-watering sides, the Nanny Joe team prides themselves on cooking with fresh ingredients. And Nanny Joe herself uses her decades of restaurant experience to serve food just like a grandma would.
We try to make everything homemade that we can, so it's just like you was cooking at home, just like your grandmother was cooking.
Customers at Nanny Joe's love pretty much everything on the menu, but a dish that is especially a favorite is their catfish and fries. That catfish is freshly breaded using a secret recipe.
It's a special, and no one knows that recipe but I. No one mixes my fish batter but me.
Once breaded, the catfish is fried and served up with a big plate of fries. Another fried favorite at Nanny Joe's is their frog legs. It's prepared in a milk and egg bath, then the frog legs are deep fried and served to customers.
They do have the best frog legs I have found anywhere in this country.
Of course, they also sell a huge variety of pies. From pecan pie to coconut pie, there are a lot to choose from. And here we've got a beautiful slice of that chocolate pie. I am very excited to try it for a couple of reasons. One, it just is out of the oven. It's actually still nice and warm. I haven't had a nice warm slice of pie in a long time. I am ready just to dive into this one. Look at that thick layer of meringue. Look at the chocolate right below it. It's all gonna be so delicious. So chocolatey, my mouth just loves all the different flavors coming together. The chocolate is nice and thick and creamy. A wonderful piece of pie. And the appeal of Nanny Joe's is about so much more than just the food. The restaurant has a relaxing family atmosphere where customers can chill out, chat, and make friends.
I love the atmosphere, and of course we come to see Martha Joe a lot of times, and if she's not too busy, can talk.
And Nanny Joe truly does love spending time with her customers. Thanks for watching this week's Let's Make a Meal. You must love those kinds of country diners, right? You were just talking about, you were salivating as I was watching you watch that.
Yes, I really want to try that mac and cheese and that chocolate cake. That looks so good.
Yeah, the chocolate was so thick and rich and creamy. I still, now that I'm thinking back to when I was eating it, my mouth is also mouth-watering.
Yeah, we'll have to go try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody stick around. We've got another check on your forecast after this quick commercial break.
Live from the German American Bank studio in downtown Bowling Green, this is SoKY Sunrise on WNKY NBC 40.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. Time is now 6:29 a.m. Still to come this morning, we'll get the details on a motorcycle ride that is benefiting Toys for Tots.
Plus, we'll feature a local World War II veteran in this week's Voices of Honor. All coming up later, but for now, let's get a quick look at the forecast with meteorologist Darius Mack. Darius?
Thank you, Lexi. As we're kicking off the second half of your Feel Good Wake Up Show, we're seeing showers in the area and cloudy times across the area as well. This is a view from the Smiths Grove Tower cam. You can see some raindrops being picked up on the camera lens there as we're still tracking those showers. And temperatures are into the low 60s this morning. Winds flowing in from the north and west, ushering in the cooler feel. And there's the radar. We're seeing those showers really drifting off towards the north and east, seeing some heavier showers, especially for areas just west of Bowling Green this morning. Sunrise and sunset times presented by Window World. Your sunset at 6:42, your sunrise at 6:34 a.m. The full forecast is going to be coming up a little bit later, guys.
Thank you, Darius. And now it's time for a special edition of Talk to the Talent.
That's right, a bunch of NBC shows are back on the air this week, and earlier I had the chance to speak with some guys from the Chicago shows. Well, Chicago Wednesdays are back. We are pumped, and to get you guys at home even more pumped up, we've got stars from all of the shows joining us via Zoom this morning. Guys, how are you all doing today?
Doing very well, Tage. How are you?
I'm doing well, and if everyone here in South Central Kentucky is pumped up for the return of Chicago Wednesdays, you know, all the shows ended with, you know, a cliffhanger at the end of the last season, like all good TV shows do, and it's got a lot of viewers in suspense. Let's start, you know, with Chicago PD first, and then we'll bounce around to all the other ones. What can viewers most be looking forward to tonight?
First of all, I want to tell you that's a great tie, Tage, and also. I think what you can look forward to is us getting right back onto the battlefield. You know, it's going to be a great discovery of how family, you know, holds secrets, protects each other, you know, love each other anyway. You know, we're going to watch the like Steven Weber's been saying all morning. You know what I'm saying, the hero part. Right, of the heart of heroism all in one. And I think every show is excited to kick that off for us. So once again, on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, that's certainly very exciting. And by the way, thank you for the compliment about the tie. I'm a big fan of it myself as well. All right, like I said, we are a little bit short here on time, but I do want to learn a little bit more about what we can expect as well in Chicago Fire. What is the big drawing point to that show tonight?
The big drawing point to Chicago Fire is that you're going to start exactly where you left off. We normally kind of do a jump every time we have a hiatus, but you actually start where you left off, which was in the boat with the guys from Squad had run out of air. And so I believe you'll start watching the show and you will be gasping for air while you were watching. And then after that, nothing that you've come to know from Chicago Fire will be the same. There are going to be some great changes for the way that we are going to be in the future, and some of that will be heartbreak.
All right, well, we have last question now for Stephen. I want to get some thoughts on Chicago Med. Of course, you know, first responders, people who work in hospitals have been on all of our minds during this pandemic. Is that playing any role in what we can expect to see on the show tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, not only is it a continuation of where the show left off last season, but there's the inclusion of 2 more doctors, 2 more first responders, 2 more great characters played by Kristen Hager and Guy Lockhart, and it's more of the kind of the intrigue and the kind of personal drama. You know, arguably there's less action than in PD or Fire, but there's still no less amount of kind of emotional turmoil and interaction between these characters that care about their patients, care about healing, care about each other, you know, and there's lots of obstacles embodied by my character, Dean Archer, who's just a bit of a pain, but he does the best.
Absolutely. Lots of
Then, yeah.
obstacles and all those shows. We're going to see all of you guys overcome them, hopefully, and all the drama that comes with all of the Chicago shows later tonight. Thank you all for your time this morning.
Thank you very much. Take it easy, Kentucky.
All right, everyone, stay where you are. We've got another full look at your forecast coming up after this quick commercial break.
You're watching SoKY Sunrise.
The time is about 6:36 a.m. Here's another check of your full forecast. Tracking showers in the area. This is a view from our Smiths Grove Tower cam. You can see some raindrops on the camera lens in the background. Also some cloudy skies overhead. And temperature-wise, we're at 61 degrees at the Bowling Green Regional Airport with a wind at about 5 miles an hour. Moving in from the north and west. And temperature-wise across southern and central Kentucky this morning, those thermometers generally running into the upper 50s to lower 60s. There's the winds moving in from the north and west. It's ushering in the cooler air as we head throughout the day today. It's going to be noticeably cooler, especially as you head later into the afternoon. Precipitation totals within the past 24 hours. We received nearly a half of an inch of rain here locally in Bowling Green. Some areas exceeding that to nearly an inch of rain in Brownsville, and then over an inch of rain in Franklin, Kentucky, down into Simpson County. And we're going to be adding more to the rain bucket as we head later throughout this morning. Radar, we're seeing the showers drifting off towards the north and east, seeing some heavier showers, especially into portions of Logan County and even into Butler counties, where you're seeing rainfall rates at least upwards to about an inch an hour, especially where you get those brighter colors and even the oranges there. And then we're seeing more of the shower activity continuing to drift off towards northeast into portions of Hart County and towards Greene County. Some drier spots, especially in portions of Barron County right now, but we're going to continue to track those showers as we head throughout this morning. There's that cold front, and behind it, it's ushering in the cooler air, and then we do have an area of low pressure that is just off towards our north, and we're tracking that wraparound moisture around that center of low pressure. So that's why we're still holding on to those rain chances at least throughout this morning. And as we head throughout this afternoon, it looks like the coverage becomes more spotty. Places north of us, probably more widespread chances for them. And then as we head throughout your afternoon, we're still holding on to cloud cover. Late tonight, temperatures dropping down into the upper 40s to lower 50s, a chilly night ahead. And then as we head throughout your Thursday, we're going to be pretty dry, getting in with sunshine and daytime high temperatures ranging somewhere between the upper 60s to lower 70s. And the humidity is going to be quite refreshing, as well as we're expecting really low humidity values throughout your Thursday afternoon. A nice refreshed fall feel in tune with the seasonal change. Your muggy tracker, check this out. Dew point temperature of 48 by Thursday, and pretty nice. Although the humidity does pick up, we're not looking at any muggy or oppressive conditions in the next several days. For today, we're tracking those showers this morning. Temperatures right around the mid 60s for highs, and those winds are flowing in from the west to northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, those temperatures dropping down to right about 48 degrees. Could see some areas of fog develop. Those winds remaining from the west at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your 7-day forecast as we head in for the next several days, we're going to be pretty dry for the second half of the work week, especially for your Food Truck Friday. And then temperatures into the 70s with comfortable humidity. Overnight low temperatures are going to be in the 40s and 50s, so definitely want to break out the long sleeves in the mornings. And now we'll take it to your pet of the day.
Hey everybody, Jay here once again, the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society. We are featuring a wonderful kitty today. This is the adorable Carly. Wow, I love her. She, is just so sweet. She loves her little blankie here. She loves pets. You know, when she was in her cage earlier, she just comes running when she sees a human walking up to her to get those pets. She loves running up, brushing up against her cage, you know, getting nice big scratches. She was brought in here to the shelter as a stray, just about a year and a half old. She was actually brought in with 3 kittens who came with her, but they all have already been adopted, and she's here alone now, ready to be adopted. You can see how much she loves these pets. She's got a really unique meow sound. I don't know if we can have her do it on cue here, but it's a nice high-pitched meow. Overall, a great kitty, and I think a kitty that will make a great fit in your home. Everybody, please come down to the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society and adopt Carly today. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. It's time for today's edition of Sunrise Spotlight. And coming up this Saturday, we've got a motorcycle run for a good cause. Joining us in studio to tell us all about it is Janelle Doyle with Toys for Tots. Janelle, it is great to have you in studio. What's going on with you this morning?
Wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me this morning.
We're glad you're here, and we'll get to the details on the motorcycle run in a little bit. I want to start with who you are and what Toys for Tots is. I know a lot of people are familiar, but for someone who isn't, kind of give me the deep background here. What is Toys for Tots?
Okay, Toys for Tots has been in our Warren County area for around 20 years. It's overseen by the Marine Corps League, which is a group of veteran Marines, which they're phenomenal in our area. We've now been able to serve 10 counties, so we're pretty far spread out in our community. None of that would have been possible without our generous donors and wonderful volunteers, but we're a community-based program that helps children have a Christmas.
And let's explore what that really means. Like you said, you serve 10 counties. How are you helping these children have a Christmas? Is it through gifts or other things? How does that work?
Yes, we like new unwrapped toys. We serve ages 0 to 12. If you're not able to purchase the toy, maybe you don't know what children like now, then if you just give a monetary donation, we can purchase them toys for you.
Well, of course, to help so many kids have a brighter Christmas with those toys or any other things they may need, I think you guys probably need a lot of donations or a lot of volunteers.
Do.
And in order to do so, you probably have to have a lot of events. So that's where this Saturday comes into place.
Yes.
Let's talk about the motorcycle run this Saturday. In general, how does that work as a fundraiser for you all?
Okay, this is mainly for Warren County because it's held in Warren County, even though our ride goes through several counties. But Doug's Motor City has been sponsoring this event for about 7 years. Doug is a Marine, so he's highly supportive of the program. We have Shop at Home Carpets as well as Harley Davidson of Bowling Green that's going to be donating our raffle items. And then our wonderful Templar Knights. They're our motorcycle club. They plan the route, they chaperone the route, they handle everything. We're usually gone about 3 hours with a couple of stops, and it's all to benefit the children.
And let's focus on a couple things. If anyone is listening, they're like, hey, I want to be a part of this motorcycle ride. I got a motorcycle I want to join up. How can they do so? How do they sign up?
All they do is show up on Saturday, September 25th at Doug's Motor City. We start registration at 9, which is a new unwrapped toy or $20 per bike, and then kickstands up at 11.
Let's talk about the route a little bit. Like once those kickstands go up, where exactly are all the bikers going to be going to?
Okay, we leave Doug's Motor City and we head into Allen County up by Barren River Dam. We do a stop at Ranger Bob's, and then we continue on into Brownsville and we stop again at the Minute Mart, come back through Allen County and then right back up at Doug's.
Well, of course, we are all very excited that you guys are putting on this event this weekend. It should be great weather Saturday.
Beautiful weather.
Now, if anybody wants to, outside this, maybe they're not into motorcycles, into any of that, but if they want to support Toys for Tots in general, how can they keep up with you guys online or social media or anything like that?
Yes, we would love you all to like our Facebook page, Toys for Tots Southern Kentucky, and also visit their website at toysfortots.org. This is now a year event. We serve so many children. It's not just Christmas collections anymore. So we really need the community to continue to support us.
Absolutely. Well, Janelle, it was great to have you in studio this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone, that was another edition of Sunrise Spotlight, brought to you from the German American Bank Studio. We've got more SoKY Sunrise coming up after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to the show. Janice Bell joined the Army to escape hard times. It was 1939 and Bell had grown up during the Great Depression.
This week's Voices of Honor looks back at his 20-year career.
I was in the service 2 years before World War II. When Roosevelt come in, he had General George C. Marshall to get out and get some troops, which he did. That's when the Army come to town. We all run to the square right down here at Russellville, Kentucky, and the sergeant handed out paperwork. You get the police to sign, you get the postmaster to sign, and you get 3 merchants to sign. You be here at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, you going in the Army, you hear me? Yes, sir. And all of us barefooted young'uns with our little bicycles, knocking on doors to the chief of police. As the sergeant said, you be at 4 o'clock, and we was there and crawled up in the truck with that old tarp flopping and like froze to death going to Fort Knox. But that's all unheard of nowadays, but that's the way they started out expanding the Army before World War II. You know, in October, it was very cold at Fort Knox. We were sleeping in tents. We had no barracks. but we made it because all the personnel at that time come out of the Depression like I did. We had no post, camp, or station, and no training at that time, and no uniforms at that time. After the first of the year, then we went to Fort McClellan, Alabama, and that's when we first started getting our equipment. The pay scale in that day and time, $21 a month. The first payday I ever got, I went and got me a billfold because I never had a dollar bill. Everybody knows about basic training. You're looking at one that didn't have basic training. When you pulled your first guard duty, you was admitted to duty. You was on a duty status. That's how fast the Army can expand. I was in combat units, but never admitted to a combat situation. I started out in communications. We was in an artillery outfit, and I was the forward telephone operator relaying fire commands from the observation post to the gunnery officer. On or about 1942, they put me in supply, and I was a unit supply sergeant for 18 years. I shipped over in January of '45 after D-Day, and we went to engineer barracks over there called Auxerre, France. Incidentally, I was standing in a chow line in Auxerre, France when Roosevelt died. I remember that mighty well. Everybody from the generals on down had one thing in mind. Now what? It's a learning experience, especially for somebody that's never been to the county line. That's me. Of course, the recruiters nowadays, if you don't have a high school education or a GED, they wouldn't even talk to you. Back then, we had a little slogan, us recruits up there. Left face, right face, drop down, give me 10, you're in.
Janice Bell will celebrate his 100th birthday in Russellville on October 1st from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Logan County Extension Pavilion, and the public is invited.
All right, now let's send it over to Darius for a quick look at the forecast. Darius?
Thank you, Lexi. We continue to track showers in the area. You can see on our Smiths Grove Tower cam, you can see a little raindrop there on the camera lens, but we still have clouds that are overhead as we are observing points towards the west along the I-65 corridor. Temperature-wise, thermometers are into the low 60s this morning, so a little cooler than yesterday. And that's because we do have those winds flowing in from the north. It's a 5-mile-an-hour wind locally here in Bowling Green, but we're generally seeing those winds right around the 5 to 10-mile-an-hour range. They're the showers that continue to drift off towards the north and east. We're going to see more spotty rain chances as we go later through the day today, but still holding on to the cloud cover. The full check of the 7-day forecast is coming up a little bit later in the show, but you want to stay tuned. We'll have more on the other side of this break.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. Time for another look at what's trending today.
First up, McDonald's is making more changes to its Happy Meal. Just yesterday, the fast food giant announced it would greatly lessen the use of plastics in its Happy Meal toys worldwide. That means starting in 2022, kids can expect other prizes like 3D paper-based items. The Happy Meal made its debut in 1979. It has evolved over the decades, including the introduction of healthier food options a few years ago. I remember getting Happy Meals, and I loved getting those toys.
Well, they'll just be a tad bit different for the kids.
Yes.
Now, all right, our last trending story this morning. The U.S. military has unveiled the uniform prototype for its newest branch, the Space Force. Members, known as Guardians, will wear a navy blue jacket with a series of silver buttons running diagonally from the right shoulder down to the front of the chest. The 6 buttons have the Space Force seal on them. Guardians also have a more casual uniform for physical training that includes a t-shirt with Space Force written in capital letters across the back. These shorts and sweatshirt are black. Former President Donald Trump established the Space Force in 2019. It's the first new service since the Air Force was created in 1947, and I'm just a tad bit disappointed that the uniforms don't look more like Star Trek uniforms.
Like astronauts, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I wish we'd respected Gene Roddenberry and the Star Trek wishes, and we had like the classic like red shirt and all, but
well, maybe they'll get a new uniform every year.
We'll see.
You never know. Yeah. That does it for What's Trending this morning. Stick around. We're wrapping up your Feel Good Wake Up Show on the other side of this quick commercial break.
Welcome back to the show. Coming up tomorrow on SoKY Sunrise, we'll get an inside look at the Bowling Green Hot Rods. They have a playoff matchup coming up this weekend, and General Manager Eric Leach will be here in studio to give us all the details.
So excited for that, but before we go, we're going to get a final look at the forecast with meteorologist Darius Mack. Darius?
Thank you, Lexi. And the weekend's looking nice for the playoffs, but today we're still tracking those showers this morning, but we're clearing things out for the second half of the day. Temperatures into the 70s, comfortable humidity though for your Thursday with mostly sunny skies. We're nice and dry for your food truck Friday as well, and temperatures still remaining into the mid 70s. We're looking at upper 70s by the weekend. 80s returning back into the forecast as we head into early next week. As far as overnight low temperatures go, it's going to be pretty chilly into the upper 40s to lower 50s, so we definitely want to get out the long sleeves in the mornings, but really nice and refreshing by the afternoon. Tage and Lexi.
Thank you, Darius.
And thank you all at home so much for joining us this morning. We'll be having you back with us tomorrow. Everybody stick around. The Today Show is coming next.